How's it going, folks? Jeff Benjamin with 9 to 5 Mac. In this video, I'm going to show you how to install Windows 11 for ARM on Apple Silicon Macs using VMware Fusion Player. And the cool thing about this is that VMware Fusion Player comes with a free personal license, so there's no subscription fees at all. And also in this video, I'm going to show you how much easier it is to obtain the Windows 11 for ARM ISO. It's nowhere near as complicated as it used to be. With that said, if you're looking to game on your Mac with your virtual machine, you probably still want to stick with Parallels because it includes DirectX 11 support. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started.
Thanks for watching 9 to 5 Mac. Be sure to thumbs up, click the subscribe button, and then enable notifications with the bell icon so you won't miss any upcoming videos.
So the very first step is to download the Windows 11 for ARM ISO. And I know it's weird, but to do that, we're actually going to download the free trial for Parallels Desktop 18 for Mac. So go ahead and do that first. And we're not using Parallels as a virtual machine. We're actually just using it to acquire the necessary Windows 11 for ARM ISO. So click on the disk image to mount it, double click on Install Parallels Desktop, click Open. You can uncheck Participating Customer Experience and then click Accept, and it will download and install Parallels Desktop 18 for Mac. So now it's installing, and you'll need to enter your administrator password, so do that and click OK. Now it's initializing, and in just a second you should see Parallels starting up, and you should see this right here, download and install Windows 11. Now if you don't see this, you may see something like this. Either way, you can just click Get Windows 11 from Microsoft, click Continue, you'll get back to this page, and then click Install Windows. So what this is going to do is it's going to download that ISO and place it directly into your downloads folder. And let me tell you, this is so much easier than the methods we used to have to employ in order to get a Windows 11 ISO. So it's validating, and in just a second, you'll see that ISO file appear in your downloads folder, and there it is. So now we're done with Parallels for this tutorial. So you can just go up to the menu bar, select Windows 11, quit Windows 11, and then you can actually just close out of Parallels altogether. So we'll just quit, and there we go. We're done with Parallels for this tutorial. All we needed it for was to get that Windows 11 ISO that you see right here. Okay, so the next step is to install VMware Fusion so that we can use it to install Windows 11 for ARM. And we're actually going to use the VMware Fusion 13 player. And the reason is that this gives you a free personal use license, so no subscriptions, which is completely free to use if you're using it for personal reasons, which is super awesome. So you do need a VMware account. Go ahead and log into that account, and under license and download, be sure to register for the personal use license. I've already done that, but doing so will give you a license key, which I have blurred out. And then you'll also see under the download packages, manual download. So just go ahead and click manually download to start the VMware Fusion download. So it may be a good idea to just go ahead and copy that license key because we're going to need to enter that in once we install VMware Fusion Player. All right, so there is the image file. We'll go ahead and mount that image. And now you should see this. Just double click here. And now click Open. And then next, it will request your administrator passwords. Go ahead and enter that and click OK. And it's initializing. And you get the EULA. Go ahead and click Agree, and then paste in the free personal use license key. Just like that, and click Continue. So there you go. Now you have VMware Fusion 13 Player ready to go, free of charge, no subscriptions. And now we're ready to install Windows 11 for ARM. So on this page, the Select the Installation Method page, all you need to do is drag the Windows ISO directly to that page. So here it is in our Downloads folder. Just go ahead and grab that guy and drag it up there and drop it. So there we go. So click Continue. Now for Choose Firmware Type, keep it on UEFI and click Continue. For Choose Encryption, click where it says Auto Generate Password. Make sure you have it stored in your keychain, click Continue, and now click Customize Settings, and you can use the name it provides there to save your virtual machine. Just go ahead and click Save. And now you're going to see the configuration page here, so just go ahead and click Processors, and you can configure your processors, you can configure your memory. That's going to be up to you however you want to configure that. All right, so let's go ahead and close out of the settings, and then we'll click our Play button. And then you want to go ahead and press any key once prompted to boot from that image. And there we go. So now it's booting up into Windows Setup. So we'll just give it just a second. And now we see the language and time and currency format stuff. Just go ahead and click Next there. Once you configure it to your liking, then click Install Now, and setup will begin. Okay, so on Activate Windows, I'm going to select I don't have a product key right now. If you do have one, go ahead and enter that in, and then choose your operating system. In this case, I'm just going to choose Windows 11 Home. Not only is the license for that cheaper, but Home does pretty much everything I need it to do. So click Next, and then click the little check mark to accept license terms, and click Next again. Then click where it says Custom Install Windows. Choose your unallocated space and click Next. And now it's going to install Windows, copying all the files, getting files ready for installation, installing features, installing updates, and then finishing up. Eventually, you'll be prompted to restart, in which case you can just wait for it to automatically restart or click Restart Now. Let's go ahead and click Restart Now. Okay, so I've sped this up just a little bit. This will take a little bit of time to get through on your end. Now, Windows Setup does require an internet connection, but because the necessary drivers aren't yet installed, we have to bypass that. So that's what we're going to do right now. So you want to, on this screen, press Shift plus F10 or Function Shift F10 if you're using a MacBook or Magic Keyboard. You'll see this command prompt pop up, and now you want to type in the following: OOBE / bypass NRO. Just like that, and press return on your keyboard. It will reboot, and this allows you to bypass the network requirement during the setup. So you want to choose your country or region and click yes. Choose your keyboard input method, click yes. You can skip the second layout. And now you can choose I don't have internet. Previously, if you didn't bypass this, you wouldn't be able to continue through here at all. So you want to continue with limited setup. And now you can just type in your name for your user and click Next, and then you can enter a password, but that's an option, and then click Next. So now I want to uncheck all these little privacy settings. I just don't want any of that. It's up to you if you want to do that, but this is how I like to do it. All right, so go ahead and click Accept. Okay, and again, this portion does take a little bit of time. I've sped this up so we can get through it as quickly as possible. And here you are at the Windows desktop. Now you'll notice with the Start menu open, you'll see some icons there like File Explorer and Clock. These are all default icons, but the other icons are actually missing because these icons require an internet connection, which we don't yet have because we don't have the proper drivers installed for network connectivity or for display. So you can see all those blank icons there, but we're gonna fix that right up. In the Start menu search box at the top, you wanna type in PowerShell. So let's go ahead and do that, PowerShell, like that. And then on the right side, you want to click Run as Administrator. And then when prompted, click Yes. So this opens up the PowerShell prompt. And now you want to type the following: set-execution policy space remote signed, like that. Press return. And then I just type in A for yes to all as far as accepting the policy changes. So press return, and then you can type exit return to exit out of PowerShell. Now what that does, it allows us to install VMware tools. Previously you wouldn't be able to do this. So you want to go up to virtual machine in the menu bar, click install VMware tools, click install, and this will mount VMware tools. So just give it a second. You'll see a little prompt here. Now you can open up Windows Explorer, go to your DVD drive, which is where you'll find VMware tools and all the necessary drivers. So right click on setup, select Run with PowerShell, and when prompted, click Yes. And this is going to run VMware tools and install both the display driver and the network driver. So first up, I believe it's going to install, yes, the VMXNet3 driver package. So that's your network driver. And now it installs the display driver. So you can just press any key to continue, to exit out of VMware tools, and that's it. Now we can just close the Windows Explorer. Now you can see all the icons there because we have an internet connection, and we also have display support. So I'm going to go full screen, and we're going to go to the Start menu, go to Settings, and click Display. Now previously you were stuck at 1024 by 768. You couldn't change that, but now we have more options. So we'll go 4K here. So there we go. So the next thing I like to do is just go to System and then click Windows Update, and make sure you download all the latest updates. That'll take a while. but we'll speed through that here as well. So folks, that's pretty much it. We have Windows 11 for ARM running on VMware Fusion thanks to Parallels, oddly enough. And the nice thing about having a Windows virtual machine, you can quickly switch between Mac and Windows just by swiping between the two full screens like that. Now we can also go down into our downloads folder and purge some of the things we have here. If you want to keep that ISO, you can, certainly. I think it's a good idea just to hang on to it, but you can go ahead and delete the install Parallels desktop and the VMware Fusion installer as well. And if you go to your user folder, you'll find in there Parallels. We're just going to unmount those as well, but you'll see Parallels there, and you can delete that whole Parallels folder if you're not using a virtual machine there. And that's going to save you a little bit of space. And I'm just going to uninstall Parallels completely using App Cleaner. Just go ahead and remove, just like that. So, well, let's go ahead and get rid of this guy too. And we'll empty the trash. All right, so let's go back to VMware Fusion. So the Windows update is almost complete and it will ask us to restart. But just want to reiterate that Parallels is going to be a better option if you're gaming because there's 3D acceleration support, DirectX 11 support, whereas here with VMware Fusion, you don't have any of that support. And it's not going to run games nearly as well as Parallels. But that being said, if you're just looking to run a one-off application, you're not gaming, you're just running software without a lot of graphical demand, then this is probably going to work pretty good, and it's going to save you some coin in the process because outside of the Windows activation and purchasing a Windows license, if you choose to do that, this is free. And free is good, right? Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. This is Jeff Benjamin with 9to5Mac, and be sure to check out these other videos for more.